Hello, this is 6 Minutes English from BBC Learn English. I'm Sam. And I'm Neil. Recently, I've met up with an old school friend where I haven't seen for years. We've talked for hours. Sounds like you had a good chin wag. A long and pleasant conversation between friends, which is great because in this program, we're talking about talking. We'll be discussing conversations, exchange of ideas, and thoughts and feelings that happens when people talk to each other. And as usual, we'll be learning some more vocabulary as well. The rise of Twitter and social medias, which encourages us to give opinions on subjects without always listening in return. Well, it's something our conversations is being lost. But luckily, there are still millions of us who love to talk, chat, chin wag, and chatter away. In fact, in 2012, a competition in Latvia broke the world record for the longest telephone conversation. So, Neil, my question is this. How long did this record break conversation last? Was it A, 24 hours and 4 minutes, B, 54 hours and 4 minutes, or C, 84 hours and 4 minutes? I think that it'll be a 24 hours and 4 minutes, after which they probably fell asleep. Okay, so I'll reveal the answer later in the program. During a wrong career, DJ and BBC Nihal Havamaiga has a conversation with hundreds of people. Now, he's using his experience to write a book entitled of Let's Talk. So, how to have a better conversation. Here, he tells another presenter, Michael, about word of mouth, about the influence of his mother, who also loved talking to people in her job as a nurse. It gave me since the you are enriched by listening, and this was of course pre-social media, which is of course encourages us to project and transmit more than we receive. So it meant that we guess it's just which is conscious of the experiences of others and wanted to just understand them more partially. It was a survival instinct because uh I was a little brown boy in Doman's White School, a state school in 1980s. Funny how a good conversation involves listening as much as speaking. By listening, we find out things about what a person we're talking to, which in turn help us to understand ourselves. So this is why Nihal says they're enriched by listening. We're improved by having something added. As a British Asian boy growing up in a white community, he also thinks conversations was a way for him to make friends and find protection. He says having conversations was a survival instinct. The human instinct to do something in a dangerous situation that will keep them safe and healthy. He sees an important difference between listening simply to reply and listening to understand. When we're listening to reply, we're thinking about the next thing we want to say, or more just trying to understand other person's point of view. Listening to understand, on the other hand, helps build bridges, improve our relationships between people who are very different or do not like each other. Here's Nihal again in conversation with BBC word of mouth. So conversation can build bridges, and it is proven through history. The conversation has, and a conversation can be seen as an art form, and that's why uh, we will try to understand. It's not just tickle tackle. It's not just shouting at each other on social media. It's not just two politicians talking to each other. Good conversations bring people together, like TikTok tackle about telling about people's lives that is unkind, disproving, or untrue. Like gossip. Good conversations take turns not talking over someone, trying to silence people by talking more loudly, forcefully, and persistently than them. Nihal's tips can help us have better conversations, encounter new ideas, and make friends. So, Sam, did you do any of these things when you were with your old school friend? I think so. We both listened to each other. There's no tickle tackle, a little bit of gossip. Before we knew it, a couple of hours has passed. But not as much time as the record breaking telephone conversations I've mentioned earlier. So, in your question, you're asked how long um, the world's longest conversation lasted. I guess it was A, 24 hours and 4 minutes. Was I right? Well, Neil, I'm afraid that was The wrong answer. In fact, the record-breaking was 54 hours and 4 minutes. About the same of 540 programs of 6 minutes English. Well, that was a lot. So let's recap the vocabularies we've learned on the art of good conversation, starting with chinwag, a long and pleasant conversation between friends. When something is enriched, it is improved by having something else added. So the survival instinct is the basic instinct that humans and animals do something in a dangerous situation that'll keep them alive. If you build bridges, you improve relationships between people who are very different or do not like each other. Tickle tattle is about telling about people's life that is disapproving or untrue. And finally, if you talk over someone, you silence or drown them out by talking more loudly than them. That's the end of our program. So remember to join BBC and use vocabulary. Bye for now. Bye.